Hey, Scarefest fans. This is one of the weirdest movies I've ever reviewed. I went on a deep dive looking for something obscure, and some of you may know this, but some of you may not. Imagine a movie where John Waters, David Lynch, and Napoleon Dynamite had a baby, and they decided to throw that baby into the water, or grease in this matter, and let it go. That's what the Greasy Strangler is. Now, if you've ever heard of the Greasy Strangler, kudos to you. I had not heard it. It's directed by it's actually produced by Elijah Wood, his Spectre Vision company. They gave us a few other films, cooties. Just to give you, here's two of my favorite quotes. Bullshit artist you hear all the time throughout it. And another one, hootie tootie disco tootie, hootie tootie disco tootie, hootie tootie disco tootie. If that annoys you, this may not be the movie for you. If you think that's funny, this is it. I mean, so I was looking for horror films and this was suggested, but it's not really a horror film. It does deal with someone who's strangling people in Greece. And it's so it's hard to explain it. Ronnie runs a disco walking tour with his son Braden, and a sexy woman takes the tour, begins a competition between father and son. It also signals the arrival of the oily strangler, the greasy strangler, who takes the streets at night. So yeah, that's the story. It's funny, but you're going to have a certain personality. It does have a little bit of blood, not a ton, but like the description I gave at first, John Waters, David Lynch, and Napoleon Dynamite had a baby that none of them wanted to keep, and then you get the Greasy Strangler. The director is Jim Hosking. I'm going to go have to check out his other films that he's made after this. He did a short for ABC's of Death Part 2. And I guess there's another movie after this called An Evening with Beverly Loughlin, which is similar to this, and I've got to find it now. So is it awful? It's not awful in the sense of it's a bad movie. It's just, it's very stylized, and you're either going to hate this and think that I'm insane, or you're going to enjoy it and go, oh my God, I can't get this out of my brain. Because I can't get it out of my brain. I finished watching it last night and I've thought about it. There's also a lot of male genitalia in this movie. Most of it I read. I started doing a deep dive on, not on male genitalia, but researching it. And I guess it's all prosthetics, but there's a lot. There's some ugly people getting nude in this movie. There's not a lot of it. If you're attractive, you're not getting nude in this movie. Should you watch The Greasy Strangler? Well, it's listed as a horror film, but it's more of a comedy. It's free on IMDb TV. Yeah, if you like what I just said, if you think the idea of David Lynch, John Waters, and Napoleon Dynamite having a baby is funny, and then knowing everyone ignoring that baby, and then it becomes this movie, then this movie's for you. If that sentence intrigues you, check out The Greasy Strangler. I'm going to start watching Jim Hosking other films. He's British. I don't know. There's a great story in it. The dad's played by a guy named Michael St. Michaels, whom I never heard of, and the son's Sky Elabar. But apparently there's a story. He tells a story in the movie about him and John Travolta partying. And apparently he actually was John Travolta's hairdresser back in the day in real life. Check out The Greasy Strangler. I mean, it's not really a horror film, but I watched it. I was told it's a horror film. It's listed as a horror film. It's more of a comedy. Check out The Greasy Strangler if you're brave enough to. If you can make it through the first 10 minutes and think this is so stupid but funny, then you're going to enjoy it. This has been Joe Lewis of Bonehead Weekly. Thank you.